Mark Ralston said he'll take the comfort of Selection Sunday over the drama any day. Is that kind of maybe how you feel?
Yeah. Even though I had a pretty good feeling we were in, I was still nervous. You're watching the show and not sure exactly what's going to happen, but there wasn't as much drama this year as obviously there was in the past.
Coach, 4 years. Have you been here 4 years here in the tournament? Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm excited for our players, and I'm excited that we've been able to get back to the tournament, and it's been with a lot of different type teams with different personnel. And after losing TJ last year and Jordan and Tyler, we had 3 starters off an NCAA team coming. We lost. I'm proud of our group this year. I'm proud of the distance they've come, I think, from the beginning of the season till now. And so it's exciting for our players, and hopefully it's something we can continue to do where you give yourself a chance to play for a national championship one day.
You don't have to do this, Dayton, then get on the bus and go somewhere else. So to talk about, you just go to a site and just be there this time, right?
Well, even last year when we went to Dayton, we were excited to go. It does make it hard to play a game on like we did last year Tuesday and turn around with quick travel and all that type stuff. So it's much different this year. We've got some time to prepare, and we're going to be preparing for a really good team. LSU is very, very talented, very, very well coached, and so we're going to need some days here to get ourselves ready to play them.
The Selection Sunday guys had some good things to say about State. As a coach, does that make you feel good?
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, everybody that's in the tournament is deserving. Everybody's earned the right to be there. I don't think there's a team in the field that's not deserving. And so, again, we've got a very tough, challenging first game with LSU against a very, very athletic team that's very, very talented. So, it's nice that people say nice things, but we need to get ready to go play. That's the bottom line, and play our best.
You've coached against Kyle Hornsby before?
Excuse me?
You've coached against Kyle Hornsby before?
Yep, Keith, I think.
Or is it Keith?
Keith. Yeah, he played awfully well against us when he played for UNC Asheville, and he even considered coming here when he was making the decision to transfer. And I was happy to see him go to LSU because of their coach, Johnny Jones, good friend of mine. And he's had a great run. He's playing at a high level right now. I think his last couple games have been his best of the year, and so we know him a little bit. We know his game. Great shooter, great athlete, and so that'll be it's interesting because we know him pretty good.
What are your ties to Johnny?
Johnny was my assistant at Alabama for a year before he went to North Texas State. He got the North Texas State job from my staff, and obviously played for Dale Brown and then coached with Dale Brown for many years, and was at Memphis at one time prior to Calipari being there. But he's an excellent coach, one of the best guys I've ever worked with, one of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever worked with. So, I know him obviously very well.
Did you just nominate him for something?
Huh?
Did you just nominate him for something, Jimmy?
That was for the V throw,
Yeah.
making the foul shot I did with Johnny. Yeah.
Did you make it?
I made mine. I don't know if he made his. We'll see.
First time seeing you since the news of Kat's
Yeah.
injury not being as bad as maybe it could have been. Just kind of your reaction to what that means for your team and his health.
Well, the number one thing with Kat, competitively, we all want him to play. I want him to play. But more than that, I just want to make sure he's okay. That's the most important thing. He came back. He was thoroughly checked out by all of our doctors and cleared. And, you're always worried about a concussion of some sort, and I'm glad that wasn't the case. And so, we practiced today. He was really good. He shot the ball really well today in practice, was quick, and, was the old Cat. So it's important for our team. Obviously, and you look back at the Pittsburgh game in the tournament, he was as good as any guard in the country that night. And so we need Cat to play at a high level, and I'm glad that he's been cleared to play.
As a staff, I know it's one game at a time, but when you see Kentucky not in your regional, does that factor in? Do you feel a little bit better about that?
Well, it's interesting because on one hand, we all realize how talented Kentucky is this year and how good they are. Then on the other hand, there was a part of you that says, I might like, you like to play them because, you want to take a crack at the best, and they've been the best this year. But, for us, it worked out. We're going to play in the bracket, with Villanova. If we're fortunate enough to get a win, we're going to play a phenomenally good team in the second game. But I think for us right now, the only thing we're focused in on is LSU, and that's what it needs to be. Our players understand it, and we're going to keep our attention right there where it needs to be on the LSU Tigers.
Your assessment of the ACC showing in the NCAA tournament?
Disappointed. I'm disappointed for Miami. I look at Miami, and I know the committee does a great job. I know it's a hard job, and they're trying to evaluate, but again, I look at some teams that don't have wins at Duke, at Syracuse, at Pittsburgh. I'm disappointed for them. They went 10-8 in what I think is the best league in the country. And I thought that Miami certainly is an NCAA tournament team. So I'm glad of the seeding that I think we all got. It's probably pretty accurate, but certainly wish Miami would have had a chance to play. I thought they were deserving.
You talked about Leonard, the things that he does that are we don't maybe see. Just how important has he been to the strengths of you guys, the way you finished the season?
Well, I think with Leonard, he's been really important. And the biggest thing is our team plays better when he's in the game. And, whether it's setting screens, whether it's a defensive matchup, whether it's having the wherewithal and the understanding to switch when you need to switch, and executing an offense or setting a screen. He does a lot of little things to help our team. And so, I'm not one of those guys that is over the top with the whole analytics. I look at some things, and one thing that stands out is our team has played at a high level. We've been more offensively efficient. We're more defensively efficient. And we put him in the lineup in the Louisville game, and from there, really, we've had a couple, times we haven't played well, but for the most part, our team has played at a high level since then.
You mentioned in recruiting, I guess, the mistakes that can hurt you, or maybe getting the guys
Right.
that you don't need. What gave you the confidence, kind of a late signing? He was obviously a young kid at that point.
Yeah, with Leonard, and I thought his year at Oak Hill Academy really helped him. And, I remember having a talk with Steve Smith, their head coach, and I said, Steve, let me describe to you what I think I'm going to get. Here's a guy that, scores it okay, but he's tough. He gets rebounds. He sets screens. He gets putbacks. He's a good defender. And, boy, he's just great for your chemistry. And he said, that's what you're getting. And that was kind of the thing for me. And it made me want to, try to recruit him. And so I think he's done exactly what, we kind of anticipated or hoped he could do for our team.
Will he be on Martin?
Excuse me?
Will he be on Martin?
I haven't decided all that yet. We're going to start watching tape tonight. I've already actually watched about a half of their last game, and I think over tonight and tomorrow morning we'll all watch 3 or 4 or 5 of their games, and by then we'll make some decisions. But Martin and Mickey inside, 2 really highly recruited, very talented guys. And so we'll have our hands full with those two. Those 2 are maybe the 2 of the most athletic forwards we've played all year.
I would think the game against Kentucky was one of the ones that got your attention this year. For a team that went undefeated, LSU gave them a scare.
LSU played them great, lost to them by 2.
Right.
Obviously I thought Johnny did a great job getting his team ready for that game, and that gets your attention because obviously we've watched teams get beat badly by Kentucky, and they didn't do it. But, I think LSU's had a great year. I followed them pretty closely all throughout the year because of their coach. And so, it's one of those teams until right now, I've been pulling for them. I've been cheering for LSU, but they've done a great job, and so they're obviously very deserving to play.
And you mentioned Dale Brown. Any Dale Brown stories?
I don't have a lot. I did get to know him pretty good, a lot through Johnny, but I can remember as a player, 1987. We were playing in the SEC tournament and actually it was 1986, and we beat LSU in the SEC tournament. And it was interesting. It's the only time I've ever had anything like this happen. Dale Brown actually gathered our team, the Alabama team. He gathered the Alabama team together right on the court and told us that he felt we were good enough to win the national championship, and he was very encouraging, and just the way he was. I'll never forget that as a player, the opposing coach doing that. And so, Johnny and Dale are really close. I got to be close with Dale throughout the years, a lot through Johnny, and he's had a great influence on Johnny. And so, it'll be interesting to see all those guys.